So here's this 3-inch mailing tube that we got in, and it fits the 3-inch nose cone. This is the tube I'm designing on RockSim, and I already got the labels peeled off for the most part. Yeah, it'd be a cheap rocket, low cost. Tube is basically free. I've had that nose cone for I think like 20 years or something. So I got plenty of plywood to make my the center rings and the fins. So yeah, not a problem. I got other hardware I got quick link for the shock cord to the parachute to the nose cone. I've got a lot of extra stuff. I think I got some extra eye hooks to tie the shock cord to the midpoint center ring. And then yeah, so that's it. So part one, we'll go over RockSim, the design, how we're going to put this together, and we'll get an idea like how it's going to fly and stuff like that. Check the balance, center of pressure, the gravity, center of gravity, stuff like that. And then probably part 2 and 3 would be the build, and then the last part would be the field, you know, flying it.
Alright, so here is RockSim, made by Apogee Components, and I'll use this program to design my cheap rocket I'm going to put together. So I have a 3-inch mailing tube that I've shown, and a 3-inch nose cone. They work pretty good together, the fit, so yeah, it's going to be a low-cost, cheap project. So, alright, let's get started here. And I just want to put this thing together. I have an idea in my head how I want to put it, how I want it to look. So, I'll start with the nose cone. And I use a lot of lock stuff because it's similar to what I have. I go here, 3-inch. Here we go. Boom. I've weighed the nose cone. It's pretty close to this. So that is accurate. We'll leave that. And now we'll go to the body tube. Again, go into, so you can stretch this out a little bit. Alright, so we're looking for 75 millimeter body tube. Here we go. I'm going to hit OK. Now I measured the length, it's 38 inches, so 38, and there we go. Again, the weight is pretty close to what I got. It's a mailing tube, so I'm not going to get exact amount. I guess I could play with the, up in the right hand corner, I can choose a different material to get close. I think I weighed it at 357 grams. I think, let's see, PVC. Yeah, it's a little heavier. I'm just going to leave it on paper. It's close enough. Okay, so I hit OK there, and now we'll go to the fin section. Close this out. Alright. Go with 4. I like 4 fins. So, and I always bring in my rocket in just to let the fins in. I don't like it right on the edge, so I'll bring it in a little bit. And then, let's see. Don't want it up that high. Somewhere in that 4-inch range seems good. Let's see. Play around with the taper here. Yeah, something like that. Okay. So the only other thing is the thickness is a little off, so you'll notice Yeah, so you'll notice the weight here go up just a little bit. I think I have 1/4 inch plywood I'll be using. Tab. So brought up the weight just a little bit. And hit OK. So now we get the fins, and now we need so click on the body tube again. We need a motor mount tube. So we'll go inside tube. Scroll down. Again, I like using the lock stuff. It's similar to what I have. So we're looking for 1.14. Here we go. That is 29 millimeter. I'm going to change this to measure for the measurements from the base of the rocket. It's easier to deal with. Let's bring down that length a little bit. And something about that. That looks good. Oh, you gotta click. This is a motor mount tube, so we can load an engine in. Hit OK. Now I'm gonna go back to fins. Oh no, not yet. I need to go to get its center rings in there. Okay. Scroll down. 3 inch to 1.14. Sounds good. I'm going to hit automatic calculate known values, which means when I slide the center ring over, the inner diameter will automatically measure this point right here on the motor mount tube. There we go. Okay. And there it is. Measured it out for me. One more thing I like to do is mark these separate. So I'm going to put forward centering. I'm going to copy, paste, open that one up, and then place that one. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. That's pretty good there. Now I'll call this one the rear. Up here. Hit OK. Now I'll go back to the fins because now we need to get the root in, touching the motor mount tube, and that can be done with this option right here. So I'm going to click calculate. It'll automatically calculate the bottom of the fin to the motor mount tube, and then we just use the for the tab. You can see we can fill it all in. Go to millimeter, so it's more adjustment of it. Hit OK. Actually, we'll open that back up. You can see that added a little more mass because we got more material here. And we're still overstable, which is fine. It's not too bad right now. Not quite done with it yet. Okay. Next I'm going to put a centering right about here, and I use that for the anchor point for my shock cord. So I'll paste another centering here, move it up, and about halfway sounds good. And I gotta make sure the opening, the inner diameter has at least, I'm gonna put 1.4 inches, 1.5 inches, excuse me. I had this checked off. It was automatically searching for the some kind of motor tube. There's no motor tube there, so we gotta shut that off. .5. There we go. Hit OK. Now I am going to add an eye bolt to that spot, because that's where I'll use to anchor the parachute line, or the shock cord line to. Hit OK. Go back to the body tube. We need to add a parachute. Scroll down here. I'm going to use lock again. 3-foot parachute. Here we go. Okay. And I've measured my parachute, and it's about 120 grams. So this is a little light. So I'm just going to add extra lines here. Let's see, 20 lines. What does that give me? That extra. Oops, that was too much. 87. Yeah, 35 lines. No. 32, 33 lines, 31. Yeah, I'm just playing around here. There we go, 120. Okay. Drag the location down. The parachute will sit pretty much right about here. Hit OK. So I just did that to get the mass properly. So this weight's correct. If this is light, or if this isn't correct, it's going to affect this. And you're going to think your rocket's stable, and it's not. So that's why I was adding extra lines in. Okay, so now the next project we got to do is back to body tube, mass object. We need to add a shock cord. Shock cords, there we go. Anyway, yeah, any of these will do. Then we go to General tab, shock cord. And for this project, I'm using my leftover 1-inch tubular nylon. There we go. I have about 15 feet of it. Overkill for this rocket, but I got the stuff, so I'm going to use it. And I'm going to drag that down. And that'll sit right there. Hit OK. Now I need to add, go to body tube, mass object. We need to add a quick link. Hit OK. Oh, and I made a mistake there, so I need to cancel that. I put it on the wrong body tube. Here we go. Mass object. Quick link, OK. And then I'll put it down here. So this quick link will attach my shock. This is my shock cord, the quick link to the eye hook. And well, that's something I didn't do. I didn't change the name of this centering. So I click on it, highlight. It still says forward centering. I need to change that. I'm just gonna put the. I'll just put parachute centering. Okay. Now I need one more quick release. Go back to mass object. Hit OK. Put that there. So that will hook the parachute to the nose cone. And Okay. We're still very overstable there. So we're going to load an engine in. So choose an engine. So G40 is what I have. Hit OK. Okay. A little bit better. Alright. We still need to add... I need to put in a motor mount retainer, so that's mass object. 29mm aero pack. Stretch this up a little bit. There we go. And okay. The base of the rocket. I'll put that right there. I'm gonna add. Most of mine end up being at least 40 grams. Okay. You can still see we are overstable. So this will not be a safe flight on this sim. I hit OK. But I want this to look a certain way. I'm going to put fins up here, and what that's going to do is it's going to pull the center of pressure up a little bit to here, and it'll close that gap, and this will become like instead of overstable, it'll be stable, or margin stable. Alright, so I'm going to click back on the main body tube, go back to fins, cancel that out. I'm going to go to 4. I'm going to drag the fins up, something like that. Obviously it's too big, so I'm going to make them a little bit smaller. Now, did you see what happened here? Look at that, it moved. So, see what happens when we have fins up front. It helps with the stability. So, I think that looks pretty good right there. And 1.93, that's a stable rocket right there. Alright. Let's see. The only other thing we can do is, that I didn't double check, is the color. Alright, so nose cone's red. I wanted a red and white, so maybe these are already set from a previous project. Color, 3D color is red. And you can just click on these, you can change whatever, however you want. If you want the fins to be yellow. So okay, body tube, color, it's already set to white. And the rear fins, color, red. Okay. Let's see, 3D. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Alright, so time to simulate this. That'll be up here. So we need to check one more thing. I want the parachute to deploy at apogee. And now we'll launch it. 496 feet. I have a 4-second delay on my G40 that I have, so that is perfect. Wants me to save the project, so I'm just going to say YouTube. 3-inch mail tube. Project. Okay, so here we are. Here's our flight. And we can speed this up a little bit. Here's the descent and land. Hey, it's pretty cool. Okay. So the delay time is good. The height, it's pretty low. 500 feet barely. It's a safe flight. So yeah, I'm gonna run this on the RockSim Pro. It actually will so I'm gonna run this on the RockSim Pro. This is just RockSim. RockSim Pro will actually, you could launch it from an actual launch site. I have mine set for my location where in my neighborhood, so it's kind of cool to see rockets go off near your house or something. And alright, I'm gonna switch to that. Okay, so here is RockSim Pro. Now I'm gonna open up that file. Oh, here we go. Now we need to load a motor in. Choose engine. Aerotech G40. Okay. Let's make sure the delay of the release of parachute is proper. Hit OK. Let's say we're getting 524 feet here. Okay. Nice. My rocket. Here's my house. Yay. So as you can see, this is not really a good location for flying a rocket. There's trees. We got trees and got this guy's place over here. So it's kind of cool. Alright, so I'm gonna hit the play. Got the fire going off. That is cool. Parachute's up. Where will it land? So the wind conditions I had set for a different day, so if you know your location, you can actually put in your coordinates and wind conditions for that day, so you have a pretty good idea like where these rockets are going to go. Spin this angle around. Yeah, this is really cool. Pause it. Yeah, that is cool. Alright, so that is RockSim Pro. You can design the rockets here too, and then you can run this this launch simulator that's using, I think, like Google Maps or something. And by point, you can enter in your longitude, latitude, and make your own launch areas. Or if there's rocket clubs that have a launch area, you can put in their coordinates, and yeah, it's a useful tool if you know the day that the day when they're flying, and you're worried about wind direction, which way the rocket's going to land. You can kind of get an idea, put in the wind conditions for the day. and then it'll help you decide like how to, give you an idea of like weather caulking, or give you an idea of which way to pitch the launch rods, or adjust your delay. But that wasn't bad. That was pretty quick to design this and kind of see how it's flying. So yeah, this is a great tool. And now the next step is start the build process, and that is going to be part 2 of this project.